Okay, hello everybody.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. So let me start our event. My name is Lilia, and my experience in QE is 21 years. And Sandy today is with me. So Sandy, please introduce yourself shortly.
Hi, my name is Sandy. I don't even know how many years I've been a QA, but it's been a long time. And I've worked in several industries, the software industry and also in the automotive industry.
Okay. And today's event is about how to be a QA and is QA is for you. And we have two beautiful people today, Johnny and Dmitry. Guys, is it possible to switch your cameras on?
Oh, okay. Just a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. Hello, Johnny.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
And yeah, Dmitry, what about you? Is it possible to switch your camera on? Dmitry? Can you hear me? Okay, seems that Dmitry has some technical problems with his sound. Dmitry, we have some problems in hearing you. Okay, while Dmitry is trying to do something with his sound, I would propose to start. So our goal today is to understand if QE profession is for Johnny and Dmitry. Will it be comfortable, convenient, lovely, beautiful, and so on for them? We will ask some questions. After our meeting, in the end of our meeting, I think that we could give some recommendations to Johnny and Dmitry regarding the future profession. But don't consider our recommendation as, the only truth, because this is your choice anyway. If you want to be a QA, anyway, you could be a QA. We just could recommend something to you, maybe to be or not to be a QA, maybe some, particular branch of QA like automation or manual QA, or maybe performance QA or something else. But this is anyway your choice to be or not to be a QA. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start from Johnny, because Dmitry is trying to do something with his sound. Probably he is a real tester, and he just found the problem and trying to find the root cause of this problem. Okay, so Johnny, please introduce yourself first.
Oh, hello,
what do
guys.
you do now? Hi.
Hello, guys. Nice to meet you, both of you. My actual name is Nicola, but I said Johnny is a nickname. It feels more, how to say it. My English is not my native language, so pardon me for the mistakes if I make them. Currently, I work at a wholesale company which sells IT equipment. I'm here 5 years now, and I started as a senior technician, and now I'm a service manager. And I run 3 guys, and I also maintain a couple of companies which are on a monthly subscription as their IT guy. So those are basically some small companies that don't want to have the IT guys in-house. They outsource it from us. And recently, I actually managed to implement some QA in our company,
Mhm.
but it's not a software QA, it's more like a hardware QA because we ran on problems recently, which were a merchandise, new merchandise which we imported. They
Mhm.
come, they already come faulty, even if they are new. So I managed somehow to implement some spheres of QA, but in a hardware sphere, not software.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I showed my interest in QA. Maybe I heard about QA a year ago, but I showed my interest maybe half of a year ago. So,
Mhm.
and I started learning ISTQB syllabus just last week.
Mm. Mhm.
I thought that that would be a good starting point, but my future plan is to be automatization engineer.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. So what do you like in your profession?
Uh, this one right now,
Yeah, right now. What do you
yeah,
like
I
profession?
liked it mostly because I solve problems all the time. I
Mm.
solve problems uh, in a company, in other companies, and I really enjoyed it.
Mhm.
That's the most beneficial thing to say, and I liked. But during this work, I did a little bit of software testing, but it
Mhm.
was on a basic level. I do some testing of our company software, uh, customer relationship management software.
Mhm.
And that company is based in my country, and we are using their software. And I, from time to time, I write them some bug reports or some flaws that uh, I ran on by using it on a daily basis.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. So am I right that you like this part the most? I mean, the part with the software testing, and that's why you decided to change your profession to the software testing itself.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Uh-huh. Okay. So you said that you started the ISTQB
Yeah,
preparation, yeah?
yes.
Why did you choose this exam? Why did you choose to start from this
Uh,
foundation theory, not from practice?
mm, I don't, I didn't quite understand you. What do you mean? Why did I start it with the syllabus?
Yeah, why did you start it with
I
the ISTQB? Because most people, started usually from some practical courses, maybe some videos and books, and your approach is very, serious. You started
oh
from the ISTQB exam and the preparation to this, or maybe this is just you know how to learn the theory, not to.
uh,
Um,
to be honest, a lot of people from internet, Reddit, and stuff, they
mhm,
recommended it as a good starting point
mhm,
to uh, yeah, how to tell you this. Mm, I wanted to learn the terminology, to learn methodology, and all that stuff before I can go into practical.
mhm. Mhm.
So I wanted to, let's say it, to pass the theory first and then go for a practice.
Okay.
And I
Cindy.
well, and also I find it that certificate could be very useful here in Europe for finding a job. And also I have a bachelor's degree of computer science, and those two are a good match for finding a job.
Great, great. Cindy, maybe you have questions?
So it sounds like you're already doing some QA.
Okay.
And you like it, and you have a degree in computer science.
Yes.
So I think that you have a advantage over other people who don't have a technical background. If you do decide to do a QA, because as you know, doing technical stuff has its own language and ways of doing things. So when you said you took the exam, but I'm guessing that you read a lot of materials to prepare for the exam?
I didn't go run for the exam just yet. I just practicing on the syllabus and the theory stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to be clear that I understood what you were talking about.
Yeah.
It sounds like in your job, you're already kind of a QA, but more on the hardware side.
Yeah.
Because you said you like to solve problems.
Yes.
And there's always problems to solve in QA. So I think one of the things that I would ask is, how do you juggle competing priorities? If you have a boss that says, we need to get this done by today, but then a coworker or another person says, I really need this today, how would you juggle those?
That okay. That varies from situation to situation. First, I would calculate how much time would I need for the boss's thing and the other one, and since I do it like almost 5 years, I know on which problems could I run. So basically, when I got those two things, I would pretty much know what to prioritize between those two. Between those two things.
Yeah, and communicate back with the people involved. Yes, I can do this today, or no, I can't. It's gonna.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I usually take the hardest stuff early in the morning.
Okay.
So I leave the easy stuff for the rest of the day.
When your brain is tired.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you want to be an automation developer. That would be your ideal job.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something about automation I really like, but I truly cannot explain it, to be honest. But I do a little bit of coding.
Okay.
I'm learning Python. So it's a good programming language for the automatization.
Okay.
And I know the syntax of Java.
Okay.
And currently I work on some basic software for myself to make a portfolio. It's RMA software, return management merchandise. Am I saying it right? return merchandise software, because we don't have it currently in
Okay.
our company, and I want to build it from scratch.
Right, right. And so I can see two avenues that you could go. And a lot of that depends on the size of the company. If the company is rather large, you could be just a developer doing automation, or you could also do many QAs do automation. Historically, the role of QA has been just to test. And in the last 5 years, they've been they've been learning how to code. Most QAs need, and technical companies need to know how to code. So they're becoming software developer in test, an Sstep. And I see the trend going towards that way, that to be a QA, you're going to need to know how to code because of automation, because applications get so big and complex that it's very difficult and costly to test them fully if you don't have automation. So I can see how there's two ways that you could go about doing that. It's to focus on becoming a developer and doing it that way. I think that going the route of a software developer in test could maybe be more, could open more doors for you because you will have a wider range of experience in, because with developers, your window into the applications is usually pretty narrow. You work on a particular function, and with a QA, you kind of have to know all about that application and all the ways that it interfaces with other applications and some of the business procedures, and if that, and depending on what your preferences are, you can choose which direction you would like to focus.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So of those two,
That's a really great advice. Thank you.
Okay. So which of those two sounds more attractive to you?
I like this part where I can go into field from developer to QA.
Mm-hmm.
I like the sound of that. You said it's a SDET.
Yes.
You call it
Software developer,
okay,
engineer, and test. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that part. That's okay.
What
It
part
sounds
do you
nice.
like? What part of that why does that sound more attractive than being just a developer?
To be honest, I like about the QA. I like this one special thing is that now software testers work closely with developers, and they
Mhm.
are equally responsible for the end product. And what I like about testing is that testers should find the flaws and should find what could be flaws before the development. And I like that. I like really much that stuff. How to say it? Keeps the brain always on. If you
Okay.
know what I mean. Yeah.
So you like learning new things?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Constantly.
Okay, that's a great trait for a QA because you never know everything.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
And yes, I agree with Sandra actually, and I like her advices. And of course, I wanted to tell the same, but she was the first. Okay, so maybe the real way for you is to find a company where you could switch between different tasks, because just to be a software engineer in test means typically to write code and write code again and again and again, and then see the tests that are failing in Allure or some other reporting tool, and that's all. But if you can find a company where you can switch between the development work as a tester, automation work, and sometimes maybe a bit of manual work, because I see that you are a problem solver, and you interested in some theoretical basics, because you started from ISTQB, and ISTQB is a theory actually. Foundation, foundation and the test analysis and all that stuff. And if you will have some automation work and from time to time some manual work where you could use your brain maybe even more than as automation tester. Yeah, it would be interested for you, and you will be, some person like a T-shaped person. Do you know this term?
Yeah, T-shape and V-shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You will be a T-shape. So it is impossible to be a complete T-shape from my point of view. Of course, you cannot be a good developer and together with it a good tester, a good DevOps, a good project manager, and switch between these roles constantly. But you can be a good T-shaped tester, I think, who can switch between automation tasks and manual tasks.
Okay. Thank you very much. It really means a lot. I'm happy that I ran on your post on Reddit. It's great to talk to someone about this. QA, to be honest, in my country, it's still young profession, but every day there are some international companies. They are opening their offices here because we have a lot of young talent here, and it's cheaper for them to pay developers here. I'm in Montenegro in Europe.
Yeah.
So I already made a small network of QA engineers here, and I think it won't be a problem to find a job. Just to prepare myself to enter that world,
Yeah.
And I just want to mention one thing. The Sstep role commonly, so in the beginning when software was developed, the developer would write the software and test it, and then it would be deployed. And as the applications grew to be bigger and more complex, there just wasn't enough time. And then the QA tester role came along. So sometimes in companies, the developers don't really value the QA as much as they should. They don't see the value. And so if you become an SDET and you're able to code and you're able to talk to them on their level and say, okay, well, you wrote this module, this API, and it's not working, and this is why it's not working. They have a tendency to, there's a higher respect level. And I'm not saying that is the correct way to look at things, but it's the real way that things happen sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
And especially if QA is a young industry in your country, having that, definitely you need the strong QA skills to know all the different things to look for and how to go about it and how to organize all the things that you need to test, but also to be able to understand underneath what's behind the front end, to know what's going on in the back end, and understand that can make you a much more powerful tester.
Yeah, I understand that.
You said that you want to find a job in your country, and there are a lot of branches of different European and American companies in your country. Did you learn the requirements in vacancies, in positions, descriptions? What are the requirements? Are they some specific? Are they different from, US or something?
They are almost identical with the
Uh-huh.
US. It was a one company. Let me tell you about it. But the timing was off. One company actually posted two job listings for manual QA and automatization engineer. And there were two openings for each position. One was with experience and the other one was without any experience, just to show interest. But at that moment, I couldn't leave my current company. Couldn't leave it, and I'm kind of feel sorry I missed that opportunity, but they told me it will be again during 2024 year, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, in a year it will be again opening for that position, but mostly they requirements are degree of a college in computer science. ISTQB is a plus. It's not mandatory. Usually year or 2 years experience. Then project management like Jira and familiarity with APIs. That's the basic. That is the basic job opening.
And your responsibilities will be API automation or API manual testing? What it will be?
They mostly focus on manual testing, as I saw here. It's a small percentage that they ask for automatization engineer. I saw that a lot of companies, how to say this, their best manual testers became automatization. Friend of mine, now company paid him courses and some other stuff to learn automatization, and he's responsible to implement it in his company. So that is the reason I think there is no specifically automatization job openings here.
I see. Good. But actually, it is logical to work some time as a manual tester and then go to automation.
Yeah.
I cannot say that it is like something like growing. It is not vertical growth. It is horizontal growth, because good manual tester is the same engineer as a good automation tester. But anyway, if you want to be an automation tester in the future, it's better to be a manual tester at least during a year or two, maybe.
Yeah.
Just to understand what is the difference between manual automation testing and which maybe more important things, or which part of functionality it makes sense to automate, because if you cannot understand if it will bring some benefits if you will automate it, and is it faster to automate, or is it faster to do manual testing of this part of the functionality every time? The automation will not be very effective. So maybe for you is a good way to start from manual position, any manual position, maybe internship or something in such company. and then to switch to automation. And while you are working as a manual tester, you could learn Python or Java or any other language to be automation.
I think manual testing needs to be done at first.
Yeah.
You can't be a good, let's say, automatization engineer or performance engineer before you pass the manual testing.
Yeah. Okay. Sandy, maybe you have questions first.
Yeah. It seems to me that I think we've answered the question, would you be a good QA? And from what I understand so far, you would be. And so then I wonder, like, what are the steps that you need to take to be able to be a QA? And what, like, do you plan on getting some kind of education? Do you, like you said that there were QA openings at that place for experienced or not experienced, and you talk about the certification that that you want to get. So I'm wondering, depending on the Europe market and maybe even the US market, if, you know, because we all can work remote these days.
Yeah.
What are some steps that you think you can take to prepare yourself and better set yourself up to be successful in your job search?
My current plan is to finish the ISTQB certificate, to pass the exam.
Yes.
And after that, my plan is to go on a job hunt. If firstly, I would ask around here in my native country, if in those moments there are no QA job openings, I would definitely go to find something online. I see there are a lot of job openings online. I already talked with few of my friends who are freelancers, and then they are very, very experienced freelancers. This my friend Dražan, he's a freelancer more than 10 years.
Oh, great.
And he will be my entrance to that world. He knows it very much, and he knows everything, how to get a job, how he told me that United States, a lot of companies don't want to employ a guy from Europe for some reason, because of their some policies and that, but US has the most QA job openings. But he told me he has a workaround. He has a friend actually in US, which came this summer to visit our country, and they are now partners.
Oh, cool.
But that guy was his entrance to US market.
Okay.
And he told me he can help me too.
Oh, great.
If I struggle to find a job here in Montenegro, he can help me out there.
Okay.
So that's a good starting point.
Well, it sounds like you have a plan.
Yeah. Yeah, I developed it a lot, to be honest.
That's great. That's great.
It all starts with the ISTQB exam.
Okay.
Actually, you have one more possibility, I think. You could participate in conferences, because every conference, every professional conference is like, it's like a party. It's not a real conference.
Yeah.
You have a lot of talks there, and somebody is talking about something, but actually it is a big party where a lot of people are communicating between each other and sharing their needs and sharing their vacancies and positions in the companies.
Mhm.
And you could meet somebody there
Yeah,
who
definitely.
needs somebody as a QA, and you could show yourself, you could introduce yourself, you could ask questions on the talks, for example, and if your questions will be smart enough and interesting enough, they will notice you.
Okay.
And then in the corridor, you could come to somebody and introduce yourself. So I have a question to you. So you see, for example, a guy from one interesting company you want to work for. So you go to his talk, ask some questions in the hall, and then in the corridor you could come to him and ask more questions, and you start communicating, and then you can ask, by the way, maybe you need somebody as a QA. I am a good QA. I'm looking for some job. So just
Oh
believe
yeah, I understand. I
conferences
understand.
is a
Yeah,
very good place to find a job.
yeah. That's a pretty good advice. Thank you. Yeah, it's a common thing to do. Now it's called a networking. If
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
wrong, it's a networking. It's a key aspect in every sphere of life, I think. You need the
Yes,
networking,
yes,
not
you need
just
a
for a
network.
job.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay. So you have a plan, you have steps, you will pass this exam, and I think everything will be okay. So your final goal is an automation, or maybe something else, maybe performance, or what? What is your final goal for now?
I think it will be automatization, but when I enter this field of work, maybe it will lead me somewhere else. We shall see. We shall see. Let's find the first job and as a manual, and we shall see where it takes me.
That's a really good attitude to have.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe you have some questions to us about the professions.
I'm very thankful for this. It really meant a lot to me that we talked about this, and it's a really good for self-esteem. It really meant a lot. And I wanted to ask you if I get stuck somewhere, can I text you on Reddit or somewhere?
Yeah, sure.
To seek for advice or something. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, okay, of course.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so
for now I don't have any questions. I got how to say it. I was a little bit nervous before. I didn't know what to expect and everything, so I just focused now on myself. If I got some questions, I will send it to you to Reddit. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
The only other thing that I would recommend is become familiar with the different types of software that companies use when they're developing software. For instance, there's Jira, which is a project management software. There's ClickUp, which is also project management software. There's different defect management software. There's the agile principles and stuff like that. Selenium, which is used in automation. because whenever you interview, like I'm sure you probably when you're looking for jobs, you probably see them reference that
Yeah.
they want specific experience. And so you don't have to actually learn them right now, but just kind of like do a little bit of research so that you have an idea of what they're talking about, and you can have an idea. And most of these have free trials that you can download and just like browse around and see, oh, this is what they're talking about when they talk about Jira or Selenium.
Yeah. I use Jira. I implemented it in this company.
Okay.
It's really useful tool and get things done.
Yeah.
So I'm familiar with Jira.
Okay.
Yeah, I use it on a daily basis, and I saw about Selenium and also Postman for APIs.
Postman, yes.
It's on a job listing always. I forgot about it, but
Yeah. And so when you interview and they drop those names, you'll be like, oh yeah, I know what that is.
yeah,
With a little bit or not very much, but I know the concepts of why you need that software.
yeah.
Okay.
It's getting dark here.
Okay.
It's 8. Is it 8 in the morning at your place, or? I know when I calculated time zone, it said it will be 5 p.m. in my place.
In my place, it is 8:40 p.m.
PM. Oh, okay.
In my place, it's 10 a.m.
Oh, okay. It's still early.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you very much for your participation in this meeting, and it was very exciting and interesting to talk to you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you guys very much. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you for this talk. It means a lot to me.
I think you will be very successful.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. I hope
agree.
so.
Thank you
Thank you very much. See you guys.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.